Well, I have done it. My second hair transplant all went well. I've just finished and driven myself home. As you can see, I've got the bandage on. I'll show you a quick tour of my scalp in a minute. Me and the doctor decided on 1,500 follicles in the end, which is what I had planned. It means I've got about 500 left if I want to use them, but I've just become a bit obsessed about protecting the back, the donor area where the hairs come from, to get stuck in the top there, and I just didn't want it to look faded or weaker than what it is now. So we settled on, in fact the count was 1,561 hair follicles that they pulled out of the back. So to remind you, you're lying on your front flat down while they take them out for about 3 hours. Then you break for some nice lunch that they provide, and then you're in the sort of what is like a dentist chair sat upright, where they make the incisions, which is the slits in your head where the hair go, and then stick them in basically. So I arrived at the hair doctor. This is the hair doctor in Dewsbury, by the way, just outside Leeds. I arrived there 8 a.m. had a chat. They insist that you have breakfast, so I had some at home, but if you haven't had breakfast, they send you straight into the kitchen to have some breakfast. And then you have a consultation. Obviously it's not rushed at all. I asked lots of questions. Obviously this is the second time I've been at the hair doctor, so we reviewed how things had gone previously, what we're going to do this time, and it was about 9:30 when we actually started the procedure. You have about 45 minutes for break for lunch, and I drunk loads of water yesterday and also this morning for some reason, so I was up about 4 or 5 times in the procedure to go to the toilet, which is fine. They stop things, off you go, you have a wee, you come back. And then the second half went a bit quicker than I thought. Actually, we were done about 4:30. And then you have another chat with the consultant in his office, Dr. Rashad, and you get your painkillers and some antibiotics and various things like that, and then you're sort of done. So yes, this bandage stays on until 6 p.m. tomorrow. Then I can take it off, and it stays off. I've got some special shampoo to wash my hair with. No power shower. I've got to be warm water in a bowl tipped over your head. So I don't know if you can see much of this, but they were very careful where they took the hairs from, 1,500 from the back, so it's quite spread out, dotted out. Obviously they're quite clever. What they do, they draw a grid on the back of your head, and they take the same amount of hairs out of each grid, so it all looks completely even all the way across. And then they've popped them in the top there. So yeah, so as you will hopefully have seen in previous videos, I was going very sort of bold around the front, and then you can actually see the hairline that they've put in. So look how I was receding, but they've put that hairline in for the front, which is completed, and you can see that in a video from yesterday. The front looks brilliant to me. I'm so happy with it. And now the fresh stuff is on the crown on the top. And so it's slightly frustrating. You're back to square one with a shaved head, but in 4 to 6 months it's going to be looking pretty good, and in 8 to 12 months it's going to look banging. I'm going to have dreadlocks. So there we go. So really happy with that. I drove myself home. Few people have asked, can you drive afterwards? Most people get someone to pick them up, but I drove last time and I was confident to do it this time. 2 reasons why you might not drive home. First is you're pretty pepped up on sort of like painkillers, anesthetic, and they put adrenaline in your body at the start of the day, so some people feel a bit woozy at the end of it. They're not comfortable driving. The second thing is, how weird is this? The major thing that goes wrong with hair transplants is when all the follicles are in like this, you have to be very careful of protecting them, not bump them, not touch them, because people are a bit disorientated. They get in their car and they sort of like bump, bang their head on the car on the way in, and it's shock trauma. They all just fall out, and that's why they walk you to the car. And Dr. Rashad himself actually walked me to my car at the end of this to make sure I got in okay. I drove home absolutely fine, and I was confident to do that, but lots of people do ask a friend or a family member to drive them home. So anyway, so there we are. So I am back home. I am really happy with how it's gone. Second time around it seems a lot smoother and a bit quicker, I think, because it isn't the unexpected. I knew what was coming. coming, and I know the team there well. I have in the past spoken very highly of the guys at the hair doctor, and they make it so nice and easy, and answer your questions. They're lovely, which helps, and that's it. So the top is now done. And I'll keep you up to date with doing some videos so you can see the growth, and I'm looking forward to a full head of hair, losing 1.5 stone in weight, getting some extra teeth whitening, and then I'm going to be hopefully looking better than I am now.